Hey everybody, ThrewRedButter here, back again with another beer review. This time we're going to be taking a look at another Massachusetts brewery out of Braintree, Massachusetts. And I believe do they have a tap room in Brighton as well? Can't confirm. Sorry, my mind's not really working right now. Yeah, Brighton, Boston, Mass. Look at me, I know some shit. This is an Imperial Stout, a Russian Imperial Stout coming in. 8.5% ABV. Yeah, no adjuncts, not a pastry strat, not barrel aged, pastry strat. Just straight up Russian Imperial Stout, 8.5%. This is the Widowmaker Brewing Dark Times Russian Imperial Stout. I know, even in the best light, the label not really showing much, but it looks like it is the I don't know, Grim Reaper sitting on a throne. I don't know, I don't know, very dark label. We're not gonna hold it against it though. So there we go. Don't want it to blow a load on me. You know the feeling. Let's pour it out. Pouring into the glass, it's not the darkest Russian Imperial. It's coming out pretty much light brown in color coming out of the can, but as it sits in the glass, it sits there pitch black. Got about 2 fingers of off-white. Yeah, no, it's darker than that. It's a tan, khaki-colored, almond-colored head. Very thick and dense, not too bad at all. Put this over here. Yeah, 8.5%. Make sure I get that right. Let's get an aroma on the Widowmaker Dark Times. A lot of coffee on this one. A lot of coffee. Coffee and cherry, dark fruits, black licorice, a lot of black licorice, malt forward, yeah, like coffee. Even like I'm even getting like maybe like tea on this as well. Tinges of molasses too, so it's got a lot going on for it on the nose. Cherry, yeah, it's got those, cherry, dark cherry notes that are more prevalent in Russian Imperials. So it smells pretty good, but let's get a taste on the Widowmaker Brewing Dark Times Russian Imperial Stout. Cheers, everybody. That's very tasty. Very good. Yeah, the maltiness and the coffee just envelop everything. That's the first thing I'm noticing. I mean, I don't know. Not for nothing, I noticed, like, I described the head as almond colored. I'm getting kind of a nutty almond, like toasted almond kind of flavor and finish on each sip. Yeah, the taste has more of a, maybe not necessarily smoky, but it's got like a char tobacco quality to it. I'm really picking up here. Maybe even smoky. I don't know. Yeah, more of that black licorice from the nose. Might be kind of a weird way to describe it, but it's like leathery, like a leather jacket, almost kind of nuance to it. And even, ooh, nice touch of chocolate and dark chocolate there too. Even maybe tiny bits of vanilla as well. A lot of complexity coming out in this taste. Yeah, a little bit of like red grape, even like vinous red wine notes. More of those cherries and dark cherries. Front and back are the coffee and the malts. They linger the most on the start and on the finish, but everything in between is just this melting pot of, I don't know, complexity for 8.5% Russian Imperial. I say that because I'll get to one of my biggest things I notice about this beer right now, which is for as much complexity there is on the taste, 8.5% Russian Imperial, the body is coming in a little too thin for my liking for a beer of this style. Like, crank up that friggin' body and the viscosity with all of that complexity on the flavor, and you're going to have a beer that's hitting the upper stratosphere. So it's by no means watered down or too thin, but it's not as thick or viscous as it should be. I mean, there's no alcohol taste on this whatsoever. Yeah, as big as the flavors are, the body, it doesn't really coat the tongue all too well. But again, it's perfectly adequate in terms of body and viscosity, but it really should be bigger to match the taste. But it doesn't ruin the experience at all, but it's definitely noticeable and definitely worth pointing out. So, as for a final score, final verdict, final rating on the Widowmaker Brewing Dark Times Straight Up Russian Imperial Stout, 8.5% alcohol by volume, huge complexity on the nose, and even more on the taste. But again, body's too thin for my liking for a beer of this style, and it's got to be bigger to match everything going on the taste. It's perfectly fine as is, but again, thicker body. We're talking upper elite echelon here, but as it is, the array of flavors on the taste are enough to keep you coming back. That's how great the taste is on this one. But for a final score, I'll go with an 8.4 out of 10 on this one. So 8.4 out of 10 for the Widowmaker Brewing Dark Times Russian Imperial Stout. That's another review from me, Through Red Butter. Till next time. Cheers, everybody.